Going on fourth, man. Let me get your final review. One through 10. What would you review Last Ronin issue number 1?
I'm going off a hype and build up. I give it a 10, and I'm coming in as a returning comic book reader, but from the hype generated, the work that's been done, because it's been to my record. This whole entire comic book has been redone twice, because the first format they redrew everything. This is a second redraw of the whole entire comic book. Yeah, so they were busting ass to make sure that this gets mass appeal, and the second redraw of this comic book did work. So, as an understanding of an artist, as the build up from Kevin Eastman and Peter Layer's work, 30 years in the making, and the evolution of Michelangelo becoming a man and an adult, the future of Foot Clan and OJ as the, I guess, new Shredder. We don't know yet, but he's definitely the new Shredder that's got shit done. It's crazy to see this is going to be a 5-book miniseries, and it looked like it can go on more.
It does.
There's a possible chance that you can actually go further and turn into a film or a live action. Yeah, I'm not going to even throw any hints of what I'm trying to accomplish, but that live action seems like it's definitely doable. Even if it's not under a budget, somebody's going to do it.
Somebody's going to attempt that shit. Oh, for sure. That design is too good to deny, man. Too good.
So good luck to that cosplayer who gets it done.
Right. That's what's up, man. For me, I'm going to give this a solid 9 out of 10 just because to give a 10 out of 10, it's almost there for me personally, but not quite there yet. As a comic book fan, this is one of those few storylines that I personally felt like, I need to go out there and grab this shit ASAP. And I felt like the $9 was completely justified, top to bottom. It's a premiere book. The art, the story, pretty much everything that you ever wanted is here and then some. The maturity of the character, if you look outside, if you think outside the box a bit, it does match up to the story. It does match up. Michelangelo's character progression does match up to the setting of this. So I'm excited for issue number 2. Like you said, I think that they could go past 5, but sometimes you got to find the sweet spot. Tell your story. Don't drag it on too long. If they can keep up this momentum, man, dude, it's going to be phenomenal. This will go down in the record books for sure. Issue number 1 is already down in the record books in terms of sales and hype. I mean, this thing got pre-orders for about over 100,000, which is phenomenal in this time and age for comic books. Over 100,000, and some people who pre-ordered didn't even get their books because it was that short print. So, if you got yourself a copy, I know the collectors and the insiders already know this, but if you got yourself a copy, keep that bad boy mint as possible. Keep it mint because you never know, right? Especially later on. When you get this, it's going to get a film adaptation at some point or animated adaptation at some point. It's too good. And the fans already decide from the sales and the hype, they need to go in this direction further later on. So I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10, man. Solid book, solid story, and big ups for IDW for making this possible and getting the book out there for the comic book fans. And in return, it has that appeal to non-comic book fans who want to grab a piece of this and get into it. So 9 out of 10. And with that, let's get into speculation. Let's get into speculation of the story and where this bad boy is heading. First thing I want to ask you is, for everything that was revealed in this first issue, do you believe OJ is going to end up being the final boss of the storyline? 4 more issues to go. Do you think OJ is going to be the big baddie, or is there another behind-the-scene threat that will emerge, or he might be possibly a puppet? What do you think, man?
I'm going to throw a little mystery out there. No. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to say no. And we're talking about speculation, so... all right, so comment section, chill out. Speculation, no. I don't think OJ is going to be the final boss. However... Super OJ could be the final boss. Because Mikey needs to seek fulfillment. He's got to win. You gotta go. He's got to avenge his brothers. But you can't make that win easy for Mikey. No. Because like the grandfather who's injected the ooze into him, OJ is going to have to end up doing the same thing. Because if you took out his whole entire empire, you took out his city, you took out his Foot Clan, you took out how he's running things in the city and stuff like that, and all he has left is that final boost of the adrenaline, of that shot of ooze and stuff like that. This is all right. I took your brothers out. You took out all my shit. Now this is my final chance. Ejects that shit. Super OJ, you know? And that final battle, that's speculation. It might not turn out that. Kevin and Peter Laird, y'all could let my ass down, and I will see you some point and have a discussion. But because of that, yeah, it's definitely, I was only going to be a one-issue person, but I need to know. So I will be collecting the rest, and once I'm done reading them, they'll be sent it out to the grading studio, and that's it for it. But yeah, man, that's my speculation.
Okay. I'm thinking no as well. I don't think for 4 issues further on, he's going to be the big baddie. I think one or two things is going to happen. He's going to get stopped, and I think either his mom, Kurai, is going to come out of that cryogenesis chamber, or somehow, some way, Shredder is going to get revived and resurrected to take on the last Ronin in some shape. I don't know how they're going to do it. It's comic books. They'll figure out a way. Somehow Shredder to come back. Maybe his spirit, possesses his grandson. Some shit like that. Maybe he says a line that Mikey knows, only Shredder would say, or something like that. I think something with Shredder is bound to happen. I think something with Shredder or his daughter. I don't think OJ is going to be at his present form. I don't think OJ is going to be it. I think his father, his grandfather, his mom, or like you said, he's going to need a power up in the end to kind of escalate the stakes a bit, raise the stakes a bit. So I think OJ is a villain currently that is not its highest potential. And later on, we're going to get a true reveal, or he's going to level up and become even stronger. So another question for you is that with what you said, OJ taking out, I'm glad we're calling him OJ too. That's a good name for him. OJ taking out the 3 other brothers. Do you think it was his physical prowess or his intelligence that took out the 3 turtles, or a combination of both? How do you think he took out 3 turtles where his grandfather and his mother failed?
Like my thought of OJ getting it done, I don't think he did it on his own paralysis. What I just reported that OJ got it done, this is what I've read and understood, that this is what he accomplished. But like I said, it's hard for me to really paint that picture and say that he's got it done. Like he was actually out there in the battlefield and killing Leonardo, Donatello, and Raphael like that easily, or something like that. Like accomplish something his grandfather and his mother was not able to do. It could be to the point where Karai has done before she died. I don't know, But somebody in that family throne has got it done, and it all leads up to OJ was able to accomplish that, Now, what his capabilities of, like I said, it's still unknown because he's never donned anything. It's not like he's donned armor. He hasn't donned, his grandfather's suit of becoming the new Shredder, or a cybernetic suit, or whatever, done by Baxter Stockman or whatever, or any assistance from Krang, or even if these villains are alive because they're all old. I mean, look, Mikey's aged up. He's got wrinkles in his face too, But I don't know. I really don't know if OJ was able to do it on his own accord, simply because there really isn't a backstory. That's pretty much what I'm waiting on with the 4 other comic books coming out soon. But it's hard for me to paint that picture by the illustration of the character alone. However, I could be proven wrong. In order for you to kill 3 out of 4 turtles, we've seen Shredder do it. Not kill, but whoop ass. Right. To be only taken out by a rat, Master Splinter. Yeah. But for OJ to have that skill, I have to see it. But for him to do it on his accord and stuff like that, I wouldn't put it past him. But I'm pretty sure at some point in the storyline, he probably got it done somehow.
Okay. I'm going to go on a limb here and say that from just my impressions, first impressions, I'm going to say it was his intelligence. He, just judging from how he rose through the ranks, well, I'm not sure he rose through the ranks, but judging how he just took control of New York City in his future, and he has such control and command right now, I'm going to say that it was his intelligence, and he was able to outsmart the turtles, maybe trick them, or just bombard them with whatever. I think he did a smart move to outplay them, whether he did a sneak attack, surprise attack. I think his intelligence got him over in killing 3 of the 4 turtles. That's just my first impressions. He could whoop Mikey's ass later on in another issue for sure, but that's just my first impressions. And another thing I'm going to ask you, with what he mentioned in the storyline, supposedly OJ took out all the mutants. There's no more mutants left in the world, right? But that's what he said. He thought that he took out all the mutants, but here's Last Ronin. Here's Mikey. What other mutant would you like to see in this storyline for the Last Ronin? Whether it be Bebop and Rocksteady, you have numerous other mutants from the TMNT history. Which one would be the most intriguing one for you to see in this Last Ronin storyline? Just if you were to pick one.
Good question. I don't see any of the henchmen lasting or staying alive after 30 years. Bebop and Rocksteady, Toka and Razor, Leatherhead, to name a few. I don't see it lasting. Even Slash, I don't see him lasting. They're all going to become old, and they probably take the life expectancy of a real animal. So they could take a turn for the worse. But if there happened to be another mutant involved, usually in Ninja Turtles, there's always some random mutant left around, somebody in the shadows, because that's Ninja Turtles. That's their theme. They like being in the shadows and stuff like that. But if I had to go and speculate, go ahead and combine properties, stuff like that. Let Jenica come back and get Last Ronin and Jenica. And yeah, man. Because what was surprising is to see April O'Neil alive of all that. Because I thought when I read Killing Friends and Family, I read Casey, April, Splinter, and countless of other friends they made over the times. And I'm glad you asked that question, because I'm probably going to take up a little bit more time.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
But after you just mentioned existing mutants, I want to have fun with the whole fifth turtle element, because those were elements that was around too. I know in a cartoon there was a kid named Zach with a green bandana. He was the honorary turtle, but he's a human. He's just a kid, that happened to the turtles. I don't know if he's going to be adapted in a comic book, but if he were, he could be matured up and really, really take the whole turtle thing to a whole new edge. The funny stuff was April O'Neil being transformed to a turtle white bandana, which was done in the Archie comics. But April is back to normal, so we don't have to worry about that. Venus de Milo coming back? Nah, I don't think so. Then you got what was supposed to happen. Fun fact, there was supposed to be a 4th Ninja Turtle movie, and they were going to introduce a 5th turtle that was actually drawn by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, and it didn't meet production because the 3rd one flopped, so they wasn't going to do the 4th one. But they were going to name a 5th turtle named Kirby, who was a white bandana turtle whose weapons are knives. But I doubt any of those 5th turtle honorary turtles, even Slash and all that stuff like that, was going to be a survival in this world of 30 years. Jenica being, I don't know how old she was when she mutated to a turtle and stuff like that, but I could see her really, really keeping a soloist lifestyle, and after the defeat of the other 3 turtles, stuff like that, she could probably go her own route and then come back to help out with Michelangelo and kind of like combine both worlds, because as of right now, Jenica is still a new character. So we don't know what her lifestyle is going to be afterwards. If she's going to mutate back into a human, or will she stay as a turtle and then continue being her own path? Because as far as I know, this whole 30 years in the future, this is canon. So you're telling me that this is going to be the real demise of the Ninja Turtles?
You're saying it's canon?
Yeah. There was reports that this is just not a miniseries. This is almost like a future that's inevitable. So you're telling me. So what I'm hearing right now, it's so turtles are going to die.
Sometimes the whole canon meets non-canon thing, sometimes I do think it's a marketing ploy because you got these fanboys who, as soon as you say it's not canon, they don't care. They will, oh, it's not canon. I don't care. There's no stakes. It's not real. But I don't understand that mentality. To tell you the truth, if it's a great story, it's a great story. I think it's a slippery slope that I think that they're treading on because they know if they don't say it's canon, there's a certain demographic of readers who are just going to be instantly turned off from it. I think it's smart for them to say, yeah, it's canon, and then let you really decide if it's canon or not. With Jenica, her being a new character, I'll be honest with you, I think the odds of her appearing in this storyline, because it's from the original creators, their concept, is slim. I think that it's a good chance that Kevin Eastman or Peter Lard don't have that connection to her, and her involvement, I could be wrong. She could be involved later on, but I think that if she was involved, I think she would be cured. And for the listeners out there, Jenica is just basically a human who was transformed into the fifth turtle, is a woman who got a blood transfusion from Leo Donnie and became a turtle, like She-Hulk got a transfusion from the Hulk and turned into She-Hulk. So that's who Jenica is. And she's fairly new. It's been the last year or 2 years she's got introduced. So I think the odds of her actually being cured is higher for her to come back, and she's cured back to human form, is higher than her being a turtle, because I think she would give some kind of assist to Mikey in some shape or form or way. And also the fact that I think the three brothers are gone doesn't give that direct hatred and anger to her, because she's fairly new to them. You know, they don't have that bond as brothers like to her. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but yeah, I think the odds are a little bit, the odds aren't in her favor to return in this storyline, but I could be completely wrong, and she might save the day in the last issue or 2 issues for the assist. We don't know what is in these guys' head for the storyline, and I like that. I like that it's a little bit difficult to predict, especially as an outsider of the tmnt universe coming in. I don't know I don't know how it flows. I don't know the traditions or anything like that. So I like that. I'm completely surprised. I have no idea where this is going to go.
I will throw another honorary mention real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt. Okay, we still got Osagi Yojimbo.
Oh, yeah.
He could age to be possibly the new Splinter. What if, let's paint that vision. What if Osagi Yojimbo is the new Splinter who actually gives guidance to Michelangelo throughout this? Speculating. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Well, that brings up a good point, because now I'm thinking, well, if Mikey's the last one, who's going to continue the traditions? Who's going to continue? Does it end with him, or will they leave? Usually in these kind of storylines, they leave a hint. They leave some kind of seed to where the next generation will pick up the mantle and continue with it. So their teachings and their legacy lives on in some form or shape or way. I'm not sure they're going to do that with humans. If you'll see, I don't know, some kid pick up the bandana and start to fight crime, you know what I'm saying, in the city or whatever, something like that. So I'm going to go on a limb and just say they'll probably stick with tradition. I think there'll be some kind of hint or clue of the tradition moving forward, whether they artificially make another mutant or a human takes up the role. I think there's going to be some kind of seed to continue the turtle legacy going forth past this. What do you think?
Passing on the torch, it's kind of hard to see Ninja Turtles passing on the torch, because the origin of how they came to be was they were mutated. You're looking at another form of accident happening again for another team of Ninja Turtles to grow up and stuff like that. And if they were to go that direction, the acceptance would be crazy, because you're able to understand that in other superheroes, where they have a son or a daughter. Like Superman could have a son, or Bruce Wayne can have a son, Peter Parker could have a son or a daughter, either or. But for Ninja Turtles to try to pass on a torch of anything else, I would like to say, I'm gonna just say this, it's gonna be a sad ending for them, because they could be just something that protected the city for the past 30 years, because they were teenagers at one point, and you're giving them another 16 years after that. So they would be 32, and they're at midlife. Like, I saw a spoof about adult turtles how they don't do all the fun shit they used to do as a teen. Because now Raphael's got a kid, and it's like I said, I can't do that anymore. I'm old, you know. But now, if you're going this path where Michelangelo's the only turtle survived, the future is no pun intended, dark for the turtles. Because if you're saying Michelangelo's the last one, he's not going to pass on that gene, unless you just remind me of a funny YouTube video I saw when the Ninja Turtles were on Oprah. And it's this, talking about like I'm trying to get April O'Neil in a species relationship or something like that. And the kids were like, no, there's not gonna be. I don't know. It's the future. Maybe there will probably be some interspecies relationship. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, rule 34, 32, whatever the fuck y'all want to call it, whatever rule it is. But I don't see Michelangelo passing on that gene. The future is dark. I don't see a passing of the torch. Maybe even if you were to pass on the torch, can they even take on the throne as the Ninja Turtles? Nobody's gonna accept another Ninja Turtle moving on to a human, or Ninja Turtle moving on, taking his gene and injecting it to another small pet turtle. I just don't know how you can pass on the torch. Ninja Turtle is going to be pretty much going to be a part of history until we are gone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough, man. That is a tricky. It is different. It is not like Spider-Man. Someone puts on a mask, or he has kids, or Batman. Someone takes up the mantle. The Ninja Turtles are pretty unique in that they are the Ninja Turtles. And there have been copies of them. There have been other mutants, but they're not the Ninja Turtles. There's definitely a uniqueness where it's going to be hard to pass the torch on, or even try to have a next wave or next generation. And I can see what you're saying, lives and dies by them, and it could be a very dark but powerful story if Mikey doesn't, in the end, bite the bullet in somehow, shape, or form of ways.